Hey everyone, and welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are diving deep into the world of blood and circulation.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. We got a ton of really cool sources from you all about this topic, and health and well-being is something that is very important to you, so I figured this would be a good one to dig into.
Yeah.
So, we're going to follow a single drop of blood on this crazy journey through your body and see what fascinating stuff we learn along the way.
Yeah, you know what's so cool about this
Yeah.
is that a lot of people think of blood as just like this passive fluid.
Yeah, just sort of there, right?
Right, but it's not. It's like this bustling city, like a metropolis with different systems all working together. It delivers oxygen, nutrients, cleans up waste, it fights invaders, it even sends messages throughout your body.
Wow, see, that's what I mean. Like when I think about blood, I don't think about it that way.
Right?
Like all those things you just mentioned, it's way more complex than I realized. One of the things that really stuck with me from the sources was this idea that good blood flow is like the foundation for being healthy.
Yeah.
And one of the sources you sent, a health and well-being coach named Dawud Osborne, he really seems to emphasize that connection a lot.
He does, yeah.
Mm.
And what's interesting about his perspective on that is that, we always hear exercise is good for you, right?
Right.
But he goes a step beyond that.
Hmm.
He sees movement as this way to actually improve communication pathways within your body.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so the idea is that better blood flow actually helps your brain and body work together better, which then leads to better overall health.
Oh, I like that. So it's not just about, getting your heart rate up or whatever. It's about optimizing how your whole system functions.
Exactly.
I like that a lot. Okay, well, let's start mapping out this blood flow journey. Where does it all begin?
Well, it begins in the heart, of course,
Yeah.
specifically the left ventricle.
Okay.
And it's kind of like the launch pad, right?
Hmm.
Sending that freshly oxygenated blood out into the aorta.
And the aorta is like the massive highway, right?
Exactly, sending it out to the rest of the body.
Okay.
And from there, it branches out into arteries, like a network of roads getting smaller and smaller and smaller
Right.
until we reach these tiny capillaries.
Okay, capillaries. Now, I remember learning about those in school, but honestly, they always kind of seemed, I don't know, boring to me.
Really?
Yeah, just these like little tiny tubes, right? What's so special about them?
Oh, they're definitely tiny.
Okay.
We're talking only 1 cell thick. But here's where they get really, really mind-blowing.
Okay.
They are the sites of exchange. So all that oxygen and nutrients, that gets delivered to your tissues through these incredibly thin walls, and the waste products, that gets picked up.
Wait, hold on. 1 cell thick? That just seems way too fragile for something so important.
I know. That's the beauty of it. That thinness is what allows for such efficient exchange. So think about it. The thinner the barrier, the easier it is for those molecules to pass back and forth. It's really remarkable engineering.
Yeah, okay, I get it. So it's like, to use the city analogy, it's like these capillaries are like these little bustling trading posts.
Yes.
All this delivering and removing goods throughout the entire body. So what happens next? The blood has to get back to the heart, right?
Right. So that deoxygenated blood, which is now carrying all the waste products, starts making its journey back to the heart through venules.
Venules, is that just a fancy word for tiny veins?
You got it. And they merge into larger and larger veins and then eventually lead back to the right atrium of the heart.
Okay. But, veins don't seem as powerful as arteries. They've got to fight gravity to get that blood back up to the heart, especially from the legs. So how do they do that?
Well, that's where veins get really interesting. They have these little one-way valves, and those valves prevent backflow.
Oh.
So imagine you're trying to walk uphill in a river.
Okay. Yeah.
That's basically what blood has to do.
Hard.
And these valves make sure that it only flows in one direction.
So it's like a series of one-way doors keeping the blood moving the right way.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a pretty neat system. But what about all that waste the blood is carrying? Like, our bodies need a way to clean all that stuff up, right?
That's right. And that's where our internal cleanup crew comes in. The lungs, the liver, and the kidneys.
They're the A-team.
They are. Each plays a critical role in filtering and detoxifying the blood.
Okay, so let's break down this cleanup crew. First up, the lungs. I know they're all about oxygen, but what else are they doing for our blood?
So think of the lungs as this ultimate gas exchange center. So blood arrives from the body, and it's full of carbon dioxide. That's like the waste product of energy production.
Okay.
The lungs remove that CO2 and replace it with fresh oxygen, so essentially revitalizing the blood.
It's like a breath of fresh air for our blood, literally.
Literally.
All right, what about the liver? It always seems to be doing a million things at once. What's its role in this whole cleanup process?
The liver is fascinating. So it filters blood coming from the digestive system, so it acts as a gatekeeper for everything that we absorb.
Okay.
It breaks down toxins, it regulates blood sugar, it even produces essential proteins. It's a very busy place.
Powerhouse. And the kidneys.
The kidneys, they're all about filtration too.
Okay.
So they filter waste products like urea from the blood, all while very carefully maintaining the body's fluid balance.
Oh, wow.
So think of them as the fine-tuners, making sure that everything runs smoothly.
So we've got this intricate system of, delivery and exchange and cleanup happening constantly inside our bodies. But I'm curious, like, what happens if one of these vital organs, like the lungs or the liver or the kidneys, what if they're not functioning properly? Does that, like, throw a wrench in the whole system?
It absolutely can, yeah. And that leads us to some of the consequences of poor circulation, which are important to understand.
Oh, okay. Well, we should probably talk about that then.
We should. So yeah, those consequences of poor circulation,
Yeah.
they're definitely something to be aware of.
Okay, well, like, what kinds of problems can come up if our circulation isn't good?
I mean, you can imagine if the cleanup crew isn't functioning at its best, or if the blood itself isn't flowing the way it should, it can lead to a whole bunch of issues.
Okay.
One of probably the most concerning is oxygen deficiency, which is also called hypoxia.
Hypoxia. Okay.
And that basically means the tissues aren't getting enough oxygen.
Okay. I can see how that would be a problem.
Yeah, big problem.
So what are some of the signs that somebody might be experiencing that?
Well, it can actually show up in a lot of different ways.
Okay.
Fatigue is a common symptom, like just feeling tired all the time.
Yeah.
Also, brain fog,
Oh, yeah.
difficulty concentrating, even dizziness.
Wow.
And in more severe cases, it can even lead to organ damage.
Oh, God.
It really highlights just how crucial oxygen is for every single cell in our body.
Yeah. It's funny, you don't really think about something like breathing, which we do all the time without even thinking about it, how that's so connected to every little thing that's happening inside of us.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And it's not just about oxygen, right?
Right.
You were saying if the liver and kidneys aren't functioning well, then you can get a buildup of toxins in your blood.
Exactly, because remember, those organs are responsible for filtering and removing those waste products.
Right.
So if they're not doing their jobs, things can start to go wrong.
Is that what happens when, like, people feel sluggish or foggy-headed when they're dehydrated? Because I know dehydration can affect circulation.
That is a great connection.
Really?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Oh.
Dehydration is basically like a mild form of what happens when circulation is poor and those waste products start to build up.
Oh.
It basically throws your whole body out of whack.
It makes sense that even being a little dehydrated can make you feel so off.
Definitely.
Okay, so we've talked about the heart pumping blood out to the body and the veins bringing it back, but I've always wondered, like, what's actually doing the work of pushing that blood back up to the heart, especially from the legs? Is it just the heart itself, or is there something else going on?
That's a fascinating question, and it actually leads to one of the great debates in physiology, what we call the heart versus muscles debate.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually a lot more nuanced than you might think.
Okay.
So the heart definitely plays a role. It creates pressure gradients and even like a little bit of a suction effect.
Okay.
But there's another factor at play that might surprise you.
Okay. Lay it on me. What is it?
Your muscles, believe it or not,
Oh.
especially the ones in your legs, they are major players in getting that blood back to the heart.
Really?
Call it the skeletal muscle pump.
Oh, hey.
And research suggests that it might be responsible for as much as 60 to 70% of what we call venous return.
Wait, my leg muscles are doing that much work. I always thought it was all about the heart.
I know, it's kind of mind-blowing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
So how does this muscle pump even work?
Well, it's pretty ingenious. So as your muscles contract, they squeeze the veins, and those one-way valves that we talked about earlier, those ensure that the blood only flows in one direction, which is up towards the heart.
So every time I walk or move my legs, I'm actually helping my blood circulate better.
You got it.
Oh, wow.
Think of it like your muscles are giving your veins a little squeeze to help move things along.
So it's like they're nature's compression socks.
Exactly.
I love that visualization.
Yeah, and this is actually where Dawud Osborne's insights become really relevant, because he stresses that physical activity isn't just about, burning calories or building muscle.
Right.
It's a vital way to support healthy blood flow throughout your entire body.
So what kind of movement are we talking about? Does it have to be, intense exercise to really get those muscle pumps working?
That's the beauty of it. He's not talking about becoming a marathon runner or hitting the gym every day.
Okay.
It's about incorporating regular, moderate intensity movement into your life.
So things like brisk walking or swimming or dancing.
Exactly, or even gardening. Activities that get your heart rate up, your muscles working, but you can still hold a conversation.
Yeah.
It's about finding ways to move your body consistently without making it feel like a chore.
That makes it seem a lot more achievable because I always think of exercise as like, ugh, I got to go work out. But, just incorporating movement into my day,
Right.
that's a lot easier.
Exactly. And remember, it's the consistency that really matters.
Okay.
So those 30-minute bursts of activity a few times a week, those really add up and make a big difference.
Yeah, this is really making me rethink my approach to exercise because it's not just about like fitting into my jeans or whatever.
Wow.
It's about keeping my entire circulatory system functioning at its best.
Exactly. That's a great takeaway.
And it's not just about preventing problems down the line, right?
Right.
Like good circulation can actually affect how I feel right now.
Absolutely.
Like better energy levels, better focus, even a brighter mood.
Well,
Amazing how it's all connected.
it is. It is.
Okay, well, we've covered a lot of ground here. We followed this journey of blood from the heart through the body, back again. We explored all those vital organs that keep everything clean and balanced.
It's a complex system.
Yeah, and we even uncovered the power of movement to help support healthy circulation. Is there anything else about this incredible system that you think our listeners should know?
I think the key takeaway here is just how vital blood circulation is to every aspect of our health and well-being.
Yeah.
It's easy to take it for granted, but it really is the lifeline of our body.
It's true. And I think it's been really eye-opening to go on this journey and explore all of this. And I hope that our listener is feeling just as fascinated by this whole world inside of them as I am.
Yeah, me too. It's a remarkable system, and I always encourage people to keep learning and exploring.
Yeah,
There's always more to discover when it comes to the human body.
absolutely. And before we wrap up, I want to leave our listener with a final kind of a thought-provoking question to ponder. So if your blood could talk, what advice would it give you to keep it flowing smoothly and to keep your body thriving?
It's a great question to reflect on.
Yeah.
I think our blood might say something like, keep moving, stay hydrated, nourish me with good food, and maybe give me a break from stress every now and then.
I love
A
that.
little vacation from stress.
Yeah, it's like a gentle reminder that taking care of our circulatory system is really about taking care of ourselves.
It is. It's all interconnected.
It is. Well, this has been a fantastic deep dive into the world of blood and circulation.
It has.
Thanks for joining us on this journey.
Yeah, thanks for listening.